Yo, what's good my YouTube family? Alex Moore here, back again with another video. Thank you as always for tuning into the channel. If this is the first time you guys have tuned in, welcome. If you guys have been here before, welcome back. And make sure you guys do follow me on Instagram at @realalexmoore_. That's the best place for you guys to catch me when I'm not posting on YouTube. And we working on getting a little bit more active over there. Y'all, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how being a people pleaser for the past 30 years has ruined my life. Now you guys, I am currently 31 years old, about to be 32 in a few months, and I can tell you from experience, doing things that others want you to do and not doing what you want to do yourself really gets you nowhere. I was just talking to one of my coworkers at work about that the other day and just telling her, what is the point of sitting here and doing things for others when at the end of the day you don't even get the results you actually want for doing so. Some of you guys might be people pleasers in order to get a job that you want. Some people might be people pleasers for women. Some people might be people pleasers for gaining more friends or trying to get more respect or just be well liked by everyone else. But whatever the case may be, at least in my experience, I've never seen how any of those things have worked in your favor. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, is share a little bit about my experience going through that so far and how I've realized I really need to change that in order to have that reality that I actually want. The first thing that I want to talk about with me being a people pleaser or a former people pleaser is the fact that I was insecure with myself. That might be something that a lot of you guys struggle with as well. Maybe you're a people pleaser because you simply want to be liked, or maybe you were bullied as a kid. I know for myself, I was never popular as a kid and I did get bullied. I got bullied for things such as being super small. I was always one of the smallest kids in class. Also, I had a really high-pitched voice when I was younger. People just made fun of me for that, and that really did something for me from a confidence standpoint and made myself think that, maybe I am less than other people. Maybe I'm not worthy of being the cool guy or having a lot of friends. Because of that, I thought, okay, maybe I need to work on fitting in a little bit better in order to, again, please more people, or in order to please myself so I'm not feeling like I'm less than anymore. In doing so, I thought, okay, well, what can I do to make other people happy? Because then I'll in turn feel accepted, which will make me feel happy. I'll never have to feel those negative feelings of feeling less than ever again. This was a mindset that I had with everything. I had this with my family, doing whatever my dad wanted me to do, or not showcasing all of my personality to him because I just wanted him to think I was a certain way, or in school being the funny guy, or even being the guy who makes fun of himself because that would be something that would make the other classmates laugh. A lot of times, you guys probably don't realize, but the class clown is usually one of the people that's the most insecure, and they make jokes about themselves or about other people because they feel like that takes the attention off of them being insecure about whatever their problem is, and they feel like they're in turn getting more friends because they're making people laugh. That was definitely something that I leaned to. I didn't lean into being a class clown. I didn't lean into making fun of myself, making fun of my appearance, also making fun of others as well, but mostly like putting it back on me because I thought if I did that, people would think I was funny, and in turn they would want to be my friends. And while I did gain some friends from that, obviously it was for the wrong reasons. I'll be honest with you guys, like none of those people are my friends till this day. Clearly, what was the point of doing that? I also ended up bending over backwards for people and always doing something that they wanted to do and never whatever I wanted to do. There would be plenty of times where, maybe it's 10, 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning and one of my friends is calling me, and even though I really don't want to sit there and talk to the phone with them because I was tired, I would do it because I was like, well dang, if I'm not there for them, who else is going to be there for them? In high school and middle school, we're always so dramatic with so many things. Somebody could do something as little as go through a breakup or get called ugly or just be made fun of, and those things at the time hit us so hard that we just think it's the end of the world. I've had friends who I've had to stay up until 3, 4, 5 in the morning because they've said they're gonna unalive themselves because the girl didn't want to be with them. I've had girls call me and say that because the guy doesn't want to be with them. I would have to be the one to be there for them at all times and have them mentally drain my energy because I thought, well, if I'm not a good friend, like they're not gonna like me anymore, or they wouldn't want to be my friend anymore. Having that mindset and just being there for others for so long just drained me over the years, and it got me to the point where I had to sit back and realize, where is all of this getting me? Where is me staying up until 2, 3, 4 in the morning with this person getting me? How is that helping me create the life that I want to live or get out of my situation? When are you going to actually put some boundaries down and stop letting people just have access to you all the time? This was something I struggled with probably until I hit 30 years old, I would say, and got to the point where I was like, if I'm not available, it's fine. fine. They're probably just gonna call someone else anyways. Like, they just know that Alex is the person that they can dump all of their trauma, all of their issues onto, and they'll be fine. With me taking that boundary, some people did kind of fall back and leave me alone, but at the end of the day, that gave me a lot more peace. That made me have a lot more of my energy back. I didn't feel like I was drained all the time or waking up being tired the next morning for work because I had to sit here and deal with somebody else's problems. And once I was able to just overcome that barrier of not really giving myself access to so many people, my life did, I don't want to say change, but from a mental standpoint, I at least didn't feel drained as much as I did before. If you've been a people pleaser for 20 years or 30 years or 40 years or 50 years, it's not like you can just up and stop doing that tomorrow. Like, your habits are already built up in you. But for me, just making this a little bit more intentional and telling myself, hey, I'm going to put myself first. I'm going to do what's best for me. And if people don't like that, you know, they're just not meant to be in your life. That has really helped me just have better boundaries and just have a better outlook with everything. And it's allowed me to no longer worry about what do people care about me. It's allowed me to be more vulnerable. It's allowed me to no longer feel like I have to say certain things or move a certain way without being judged. And it's allowed me to understand that not everybody's going to like you, and that's okay. It's not the end of the world if you and that person aren't friends anymore or that relationship doesn't work out anymore. Because again, look at your life previously with you living that certain way and look where it's gotten you so far. And chances are you weren't really where you want to be anyways, and you'll be just fine moving forward without having them around. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is actually being scared of confrontation. I feel like this is something a lot of people pleasers have problems with, and this definitely is something that I struggle with as well. Again, from a young age up until about a year or so ago, I really let the fear of confrontation overrun my life. That stopped me from moving forward and developing in so many different areas of life, because I had to realize as I've gotten older just how important confrontation is, just because you need to stick up for yourself. You need to understand that not anyone can talk to you a certain way, or they can't just get by saying or just doing certain things and you just continuing to be passive about it and just letting them get away with that. I was someone when I was younger that I thought if I say no to anything, this is automatically going to result in confrontation. This can result in confrontation in terms of it could be a fight, it can be a verbal exchange, it can be things getting taken another level. Like, my mind always just thought the worst, that like, if you just say no, you're not going to talk on the phone. No, you're not going to go out to this party with this person. No, people don't like you anymore. And this happened even at work. You know, there would be plenty of times where I might be speaking with a coworker and they say something I don't agree with, and I just kind of laugh it off instead of really speaking my mind and letting them know how I actually feel about the words that are being said. I would just kind of be passive and just let them say certain things. As a man, you never want to be passive with anything you do. I've had to work on being able to meet someone with confrontation. I want to just be as strong and calm and just as ready for anything as possible, which I'm sure we'll get there in time, but it's a little bit newer for me because my whole childhood, majority of my 20s, I just was chill. I always was the passive guy. I always was the relaxed guy. Like, I never really had beef with anybody, but a part of that was because subconsciously I never did anything to make people feel some type of way. I never really spoke my mind or gave my opinion in a way that could probably hurt someone's feelings or make them feel triggered. Like, I was just always the calm, mellow, relaxed, just cool with everybody guy. Now that I'm slowly getting out of that, and again, it's very much slowly, I'm still not somebody who expresses their opinions a lot. I'll express my opinion if it's something that actually concerns me, but if it's just my opinion on something that isn't making me money or making me move forward in life or just has nothing to really do for me, I could care less. Like, I do my thing. As a man, I do know how important it is to speak up for yourself, speak up for your family, be a protector over your family, and when I do have a wife and when I do have children, I'm gonna have to protect them. I need to protect my wife, I need to protect my kids at all times, and I need to let them know and have them feel secure enough knowing, hey, dad is gonna take care of me, husband is gonna take care of me. The moment as a man you let that slip and your wife is gonna feel like she can't trust you to protect her, or your kids are questioning, is dad really gonna be there to keep me safe? Bro, as a man, that's the worst feeling you could feel, and I never want to go through that myself, and so I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure I never have to do that, and they always know that I got their back, and I'm always gonna be there for them to protect them. The next thing I want to talk about with being a people pleaser is women. I think all nice guys probably struggle with this. I think a lot of nice guys just do things because they think that a woman is gonna like them more if you you say yes to everything, that couldn't be the furthest from the truth. Do not do that. Do not bend over backwards for someone just because you want them to like you back. Like, that's gonna get you nowhere. And that was me. I used to be the person who would always stick around. Sometimes hearing the girl that I like vent to me about her ex or some dude that's doing her dirty, I'd hear what they're going through and I'd be there letting them vent to me on the phone because I'm just thinking, oh man, like maybe if she sees I'll never do that to her, I'll get out the friend zone. Bro, that ain't never worked. Like, I'm not gonna lie. They never just up and thought, dang, Alex listens to me or he's there for me whenever I need him. Why don't I go ahead and just be with him? Never happened, bro. As I got older, I had to realize, you know what? I'm not gonna be here and just let old girl talk to me about another dude. I'm gonna be real, let her know how I'm feeling. If she is someone that I want to take on a date, I'm gonna let it be known. That way, if she doesn't like me, she can just keep it pushing and I can keep it pushing. And when I tell you my life has been so much more smooth and I've never really had to deal with women really disrespecting me or giving me mixed signals, whatever the case may be, I don't struggle with that no more. Like, I'm the type of person, if you don't like me back, cool, I'm gonna keep it pushing. You don't have to hear from me ever again. I'm not someone who's gonna be thirsty. But back in the day, I did struggle with that. I would hang around in the friend zone. Maybe once her and old boy break up, like, she'll come to me like, bruh, if you not her first option, keep it pushing. There's too many women out here for you to be stuck on one that doesn't like you when there's another one you could find tomorrow or next week who does like you and treats you how you want to be treated. That's just been a great learning experience for me and something I've taken into my current relationship and just made sure that in my relationship now, you know, I do try my best to lead. I do just stand on my own morals and principles, and if there isn't something I want to do, I don't do it. I do say no. I'm somebody that's still so chill. Like, a lot of times I don't care. I'm not gonna lie. So a lot of times I'm just like, whatever. But if it is something that I legit don't want to do, or if I'm feeling a certain type of way, or something is really bothering me, I'm gonna speak up and say what I need to say. You can say it in a way to where they know, okay, he's serious. This is what that means. I'm not gonna bother him about that anymore. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about today is finances. People pleasing is so big in the workforce. I used to constantly do things that wasn't a part of my job description. I would constantly help my coworkers on certain projects, certain tasks that they need, or be there for managers. I would stay late for overtime. You name it, I'd be there. And in my mind, I was thinking, well, if they see me doing this, they're gonna see how much value I bring to the team. They're gonna see how much of a team player I am. They're gonna realize that I deserve a promotion, or I deserve a raise, or I'm somebody who deserves to move up in the company in some type of way. Bro, that never happened. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I had one job where I went from regular sales rep to assistant manager to store manager all in a 9-month span, but besides that, no other company that I've worked at has actually promoted me like that. What you have to realize is a lot of these companies already have people that they want to put into certain positions. There's a lot of politics that happens behind the scenes. You have to understand that even if you do all these things, you do go above and beyond, companies are laying people off. Companies are firing you and they could care less about you. Like, you're just another employee to them. So I had to learn the importance of doing what you need to do. You can do more, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously try to stand out within your company however needed, but do so in a healthy way. Speak to your managers, speak to them about how you can move up within the company instead of just bending over backwards for them and letting them just use you and abuse you and you have nothing to show for it. There would be so many times where I would do stuff for my company and all I would get was like a $20 Visa gift card, or all I would get was a pat on the back, or all I would get was a team shout out. And it's like, those are cool, but y'all not really funding my pocket. And on top of this, y'all could still let me go at any time. So something I've had to do was to take my finances into my own hands a little bit more. Instead of spending those 10-20 hours working overtime for that company, why not put that same 10-20 hours into YouTube, put that same time into myself, put that same time into growing myself to add more value to a point where I don't even have to work for anybody else ever again. Being a people pleaser has messed me up with insecurities, it's messed me up with finances, it's messed me up with women, and it's messed me up with confrontation, but we're not letting any of those things bother us anymore. We are locking in, we are obviously continuing to become the best versions of ourselves, and we are not letting these obstacles of the past destroy us from being who we want to be in the future. So that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Feel free to leave a like, go ahead and comment and subscribe. It is Alex. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.